Please remain standing for the opening prayer.
O God, the creator of the heavens and the universe, you are worthy of our praises. In you alone we pray and submit ourselves, for we are nothing without you. We humbly ask for your forgiveness and mercy. Dear Lord, we gather here today with the intent of doing good in thy name. Guide us to the right path. May our efforts be blessed with insight, understanding, wisdom, and respect for all. May our deep faith in you give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters before us. Amen.
Please be seated. Hello everyone and welcome to the Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation Tour of Luzon 2026 media launch. Thank you all so much for being here on this Monday morning. How is everybody doing today? Good. Can I get a thumbs up from everybody? Again, thank you all so much for being here. Before anything else, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Bea Escudero, and I will be your host for today. And just like everyone here, I am so excited for the next edition of the Tour of Luzon, the country's most historic and prestigious cycling race. Now, before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the presence of the organizers of the race, SDMI and MAD Management. Of course, they were the ones who helped make the MPTC Tour of Luzon 2026 possible. Now, again, thank you all so much for being here. And you know what? This is definitely going to be an exciting program. And of course, it's all thanks to our sponsors and of course the organizing committee. So we would like to also thank our media friends for being here on this Monday morning. Now, if last year was the Tour of Luzon's Luzon's great revival, this year's race promises to continue this rich history with its theme of a heritage in motion. The Tour of Luzon truly has a colorful history that started back in 1955 when Antonio Arzala won its first ever race. And this year marks the Tour of Luzon's 71st anniversary, and that heritage will be kept alive through this year's race. Now, we are still more than 2 months away from the start of the MPTC Tour of Luzon 2026. But you know what? The excitement is already filling the air. Last year's Tour of Luzon featured 8 stages, including 9 provinces and spanning more than 1,000 kilometers. But this year's race promises to be bigger and better. Who here is excited? Everyone? Yes? Well, I'd love to hear that. I like that energy. Now, to get our event started, we would like to call on one of the people who has been hard at work in organizing this year's race. Let us all welcome the Chief Organizer and CEO of the Tour of Luzon 2026 Local Organizing Committee, Mr. Are Perez. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. I know you're hungry, just like I am. I would like to acknowledge our guests of course, the President and CEO of the Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, G. Santa Maria, the President and General Manager of NLEX Corporation, Luis Reñon, the CFO of Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, Ms. Marisa Conde, and my NLEX, MVP, MPTC family, all of you there, welcome. The Chairman of the Philippine Sports Commission, Honorable Patrick Pato Gregorio, the Institute Director of the Philippine Sports Institute, who also used to be the co-COO of the Tour of Luzon 2025, Pearl Ann Managelon. The representative of BCDA, my friend, the Vice President, Patrick Roel Francisco. Assistant Secretary for the DILG, ASEC, Elizabeth Lopez de Leon. From the Embassy of Spain, Representative Mr. June Santos. From Unipublic, Spanish Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines, La Camaca, the Asia Pacific representative, Mr. Christopher Courtney. This is a long list. The president of Ube Media, also our benefactor, Ms. Donna May Lina. The assistant vice president of PAGCOR, Mr. June Alano. The incoming executive director of the National Academy of Sports, Mr. Kiko Diaz. And his family from the National Academy of Sports. Please stand up. Our commissar of the race was also a big part of this, Mr. June Lumibaw. Where are you, Chief? Ayan, Chief. We also have the Chief Executive Officer of ProMain, Mr. Eric Revilla. The commissioners of Philippine Sports Commission, how could I forget? Mr. Walter Wawi Torres, and the legendary basketball player, the mortal enemy of Jaworski, Mr. Matthew Gaston. Okay, and our friends from media, of course, Meralco family and our chairman, Manuel V. Pangilinan, who's joining us later, and everyone else, our friends, guests. Again, good morning. It feels like only yesterday that we revived the legendary Tour of Luzon from years of hiatus. In 2025, this was a hard-fought rebirth with 8 stages, 17 teams, over 1,000 kilometers across 7 provinces. This year, the legacy lives, and in the 11 months since the Great Revival, it has accelerated into an unstoppable momentum. This 2026, the tour expands to 14 stages, 20 teams, and almost 2,000 kilometers across 13 provinces. The routes are set. But before the race begins, every cyclist knows we roll out at neutral start. We are proud to present today the very first Tour of Luzon documentary film, The Story of the Great Revival. This film is the work of love of our creative team and ever-supportive benefactors. The story of a nation rediscovering the thrill of this beautiful sport and how this great road discipline once again brought athletes, sectors, and communities together. We made this because it is one thing to create history and another to ensure it is remembered. I had the great privilege of steering the great revival of the Tour of Luzon last year with no other than Chairman Pato Gregorio, my brother and former chairman of Dark World PH, now chairman of the Philippine Sports Commission. Since then, I have also made my journey from the Metro Pacific tollways to vital infrastructure projects leading all the way to farm-to-market roads. Then, until now, the heart of the great Bert Lina and the expansive vision of Boss MVP, Chairman Manuel V. Pangilinan, provides both ambition and propulsion. And so this year, the Tour of Luzon unites us once again because this race is more than a spectacle. It is the unfolding journey of a nation, our heritage in motion. Building on the tour's revival by Dark World PH, I am also very excited to announce that the Tour of Luzon this 2026 is forging an exciting relationship with La Vuelta a España through its organizer, Unipublic, part of the Amori Sport Association, the global powerhouse behind Tour de France. La Vuelta stands among cycling's three grand tours, alongside the Tour de France and the Giro d'Italia, the races that define the prestige and pinnacle of this sport. Our growing partnership marks our commitment and a decisive step toward positioning the Tour of Luzon on the global stage. We are resolved not only to realize the dream of a Filipino team in the Grand Tours, but to the sustained growth of this sport. Its discipline, its culture, and its incredible ability to carry our story to the world. So let us show them our magic. Let the crowds return to the roadside. Let our communities open their towns and their gates. Let new heroes emerge from the peloton. Let the world witness our grit and our fire as we set a new pace for Philippine cycling. Yes, Philippine cycling lives, and it is rising. With gratitude to all who have made and continue to make this possible, we approach Kilometer Zero with renewed resolve. Once again, let's ride out together. Maraming salamat. Welcome everyone to the Tour of Luzon 2026.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ari Perez, for those inspiring words. And wow, ladies and gentlemen, what a big announcement about the Tour of Luzon 2026 partnering with La Vuelta a España through Unipublic. That is huge. You know, La Vuelta is one of the cycling's 3 grand tours, and Unipublic is part of that same group that organizes the Tour de France. So this means the Tour of Luzon is now learning directly from the people who run the biggest races in the world. It is a big step forward as we level up our race to true international standards. And something, of course, that all Philippine cyclings can be proud of. I was not ready for that announcement. Were you guys ready for that announcement? Definitely a surprise to everyone, I'm sure. Now, also gracing us with his presence here this morning, and of course, here to share a few words this morning is the President and CEO of Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Mr. Gilbert F. Santamaria.
Good morning. The chairman is not yet here, the MVP, so I guess I have to deliver some welcome remarks. To Chairman Pato and ASEC Lopez de Leon, I have to Commissioners Wawi Torres and Fritz Gaston, Vice President of BCDA, Patrick Francisco, representante de Embajada de España, Jun Santos, y representante de la Cámara de Comercio de España, bienvenidos. And Donna May Lina Group of Companies. I used to be with Philippine Airlines, so there's a memory of Bert Lina in Philippine Airlines, especially sa cargo. Eric Revilla of ProMain, and former family member, Ari Perez. Ikaw nagsabi kanina. SDMI and MAD Management, my colleagues from MPTC and guests. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I found out na Bisaya pala, Ilonggo pala si Chairman Pato. So, maayong aga sa inyong tanan. Welcome to the official media launch of the MPTC Tour of Luzon, the Heritage in Motion. Tulad nga sinabi nila, it's been 70 years since the tour started in 1955 when it was a 4-stage, 418-kilometer Manila to Vigan race. Last year, MPTC took the lead in the groups, took the lead with the Metro Pacific Group, kasi kami yung group transportation infrastructure company, and sponsored the 8-stage, 1,000-plus kilometer 2025 Revival Tour. And eto na naman tayo in 2026 with almost double the stages, almost double the distance, and almost double na rin ng prize money, starting in late April into the first couple of weeks of May. So MPTC, as most of you know, runs NLEX and SCTEX, the main road artery of Luzon leading north from Metro Manila to Tarlac. And by the time simula yung tour, we will also have finished Calax and we'll have connected it to Cavitex and Manila and then all points north na rin. Outside Luzon, we also have the bridge in Cebu, the Cordoba Link Bridge, and in Indonesia and Vietnam, we have about 700 kilometers of roadways we also operate. Itong event po na ito ay sponsored by the Metro Pacific Group. Lead lang yung MPTC. So the tour is also supported by Meralco, Maynilad, Metro Pacific Investment Corp, Smart Maya, Signal, and other group companies. So group effort po ito. The organizers are still working with other corporate sponsors na tinatrabaho rin namin, tutulong rin kami. So we can bring you a road tour that showcases towns, cities, countryside, vistas, and destinations of our island of Luzon. Galing sa coast sa Batangas, through urban Metro Manila, the Central Luzon Plain, kung saan galing to si Mr. Ari Perez, north into Ilocos and up into the highlands, the Bontoc Highlands. But I'll let the team take you through the details na lang. Sabi nga nila, we expect about 20 teams to participate, including international teams, as we bring the Tour of Luzon back to the cycling and sports map in Asia and the globe. So on behalf of our chairman of Metro Pacific Group, right, on behalf of Metro Pacific Tollways Corp and the MBP Group, we welcome you here as we present the MPTC Tour of Luzon 2026. Maraming salamat po.
Once again, thank you to Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation President and CEO, Mr. Gilbert F. Santa Maria. Thank you very much, sir. All right, I know we are all excited to see this documentary, so let's all watch this and witness the Tour of Luzon's great revival.
There's one iconic sport that the Filipino people miss, that the Filipino people love. That is the Tour of Luzon. Tour of Luzon.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be kicking off the great revival of the Philippines' premier multi-stage cycling event, now known as the MPTC Tour of Luzon.
Boom! Tama. Mahal ng Pilipino ang Tour of Luzon.
Bata pa ako, inaabangan na namin yan maghapon. Mga tito ko, pati magulang ko, lahat kami nakahilera sa kalsada niyan.
Lahat kami, dadala ng timba, may mga tabo, may mga tubig na naka-plastic ng yelo, ibibigay o ibubuhos sa mga siklista.
Kumisan, pag bato ng tubig, kasama pa yung timba. Ganun ang kagandahan ng Tour of Luzon.
Radyo pa noon eh. Hindi naman sila nakikita sa TV. Either radyo or sa newspapers mo lang mababasa.
I started to get involved in cycling in the tour as a sports writer back in the 80s. Nung first coverage ko, that's a long time ago, ang mga sasakyan namin as media is jeepney. Jeepney talaga. Yung mga siklista, hindi pa hotel ang tinutulugan ng cyclist. Ang tulugan nila, eskwelahan, folding bed. Yung baon nila noon, suman, biko, honey, wala pang mga gel. Napakasimple. So, it's really malapit sa baba. Nakatapak sa lupa ang gulong ng cycling.
Ang tagal kasing nawala ng karera eh. From Marlboro Tour, Tour of Luzon, Tour Pilipinas. And then, all of a sudden, nagkaroon ng pandemic, then nawala lahat.
2025 ng January, naging kasama ko si Patrick Gregorio. Kasi siyang advisor ko sa sports tourism. Sinabi niya, i-revive natin yung Tour of Luzon.
I was asking myself when we revived Tour of Luzon, a sports tourism event, a competition that the Filipinos still love. Or let me put it the other way, do they miss the Tour of Luzon? Do they miss cycling?
Siyempre, passion ko yan eh. Cyclist din ako. Saka nakita ko rin naman na it's a perfect advocacy for our business in the expressways. It's about connecting communities. It's about promoting regional economic growth. Growth. growth, 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 growth.
My dream, our goal should be to have at least one Filipino biker as part of Tour de France.
Noon pa po, sinasabi na ni MVP sa amin, I want to see a Philippine team or a Filipino in the Tour de France.
Nung nag-decide kami, alam na namin na it will be very difficult.
It took us just 3 months to organize the Tour of Luzon.
Balak namin i-stage in March 2025. Tapos January na kami nabigyan ng pagkakataon na sabihin, sige, ipurso nyo na yan, sabi ng aming chairman MVP.
And we had the option, do we put this together now and do it in 2026? Or let's do this now, never mind if it's just 3-4 months planning, and let's test if it is still a great, iconic cycling event.
Nagkataon, no, yung mga kasama ko, sanay kami sa ganyang klaseng bakbakan. Imagine mo, in just a few weeks, nagsama-sama, napakalaking organization. Behind the scenes, nandyan yung organizing committee.
Divide kaya natin, it's a celebration. I'm glad that he's focusing his energies to cycling.
Nung nalaman kong i-revive yung Tour of Luzon, lahat kami nagulat. Wow, malaking karera yung pupuntahan natin. So lahat kami naging excited.
We started reviving.
We're so excited to announce the return of one of Asia's oldest and most celebrated cycling races, the Tour
You can really see the passion and the hard work that went into reviving the historic Tour of Luzon from watching that documentary. So hats off to everyone that was involved. You know, the Tour of Luzon, the Great Revival documentary film, will also be aired tonight at 7 p.m. on One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app. So please do watch out for that. And now, without further ado, let's hear from the chairman of the MVP Group of Companies and the chairman of the Tour of Luzon 2026 Local Organizing Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Manuel V. Pangilinan.
Good morning. Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat. Kay PSC, Chairman ka ba? Commissioner? How do I address you? Or Secretary? No, I mean, sports, if Singapore are aspiring to become the entertainment capital for ASEAN or Asia, tayo dapat sports, di ba? It's a huge magnet for tourism. We saw that in the FIBA World Cup 2023. Like Lithuania shipped over 4,000 tourists from Jakarta to Manila. So I think we saw a similar phenomenon for the Volleyball World Cup dito for men's, no? Last year. So good morning again. Yung Tour of Luzon, for us older people like Fritz Gaston here, we grew up with Tour of Luzon when I was still young many decades ago. Really, it was the sport, apart from basketball, that really endeared us to cycling. And I think this year will 1,900 kilometers, di ba? Last year was 1,300. So 1,300, no? So I'm glad we're expanding it, quite similar to what Tour of Luzon was many years ago, and it resonates with our people. And I think you have to deal with a lot of the LGUs along the route, no? And I'm glad Gilbert has approved the increase in prize money. Am I right? So thank you, Gilbert. Now we'll help you raise the funding for this event. I'm sure the other corporates would come along to join us. I think, as I mentioned in the video, sports is a metaphor for life, right? The many values that you learn by being a sports person, including cycling, are values that are useful to you in your everyday life or in your career, no? To be generous when you win your basketball championship like UP, and to how to deal with defeat, and especially for cycling, which demands superhuman effort, because your entire body, I'm sure the cyclists know this well, is involved in this particular event. Last year, we were able to revive the Tour of Luzon. We all know what it took to undertake a world-class event such as the Tour of Luzon. And as I think the video mentioned, our goal is to have one or two Filipino riders to join the Tour de France. Hopefully, in the next few years, we should see a Filipino participating in that global event. That is about 3,000 kilometers, di ba? So it gives our people something real to aspire for. It prompts communities to come together. It unites the nation, and it gives hope. It brings hope to our people and to the cyclists themselves. I think someone said the cyclists really belong to the more humble portions of our society, and I think we should be able to promote that and help them along in terms of their own economic needs. So Okay. In time, our hope is to be able to cheer for a Filipino rider too in the Tour de France, as I said. It would be another example for our young athletes taking the challenges of our roads towards cycling's grandest stage. It would remind us that talent, when supported and sustained by the private sector, can travel very far. For now, we move forward with the new Tour of Luzon 2026 edition. Longer, more difficult, but definitely more rewarding. They gave me the details of the prizes this year, and the amount of the prizes has increased, right? We'll give you the details later, right? The Tallways group will be more specific. Yeah, but you can see the bent arms of Gilbert and Luis here. I don't know. So, but we do want to know, we want the athletes to know, our cyclists to know that you have the support of the group in this particular event. And I'm also encouraging TV5 and Signal to do a better coverage, quite similar to what Tour de France does when it comes to cyclists. They now use drones, of course, the outriders, the motorcycles that cover the event on the ground. So good luck to all our cyclists for this. When does it start? By March? April 29. So after Holy Week. And to those bearing the flag, you cannot allow a Korean to win this championship, right? Just as in basketball, you cannot allow Korea to beat the Philippines, Gilas. So again, good luck to you, and laban lang, no? And we also fight. We fight New Zealand on Thursday, and then after that, Australia. So we're moving the venue of the game against Australia from MOA to Rizal Memorial boxing race, right? With the permission of Pato here. Right. Now, interestingly, there's a qualifying game between Chinese Taipei. Is the media here? Maybe I shouldn't say it. And there's a game between China and Chinese Taipei. Obviously, neither one would want to hold the game in China or Taiwan, right? So we were asked if we'd be interested to host that particular game, and we said yes. We said yes to FIBA. So everybody's invited to watch that China versus Chinese Taipei game. I think also within the same time frame as the qualifying games between the Philippines, Australia, and New Zealand. Right? So, but the venue is still a secret. Maybe the Blue Eagle Gym, Fritz, right? Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Sir Manuel V. Pangilinan, for that message and for your continued commitment to the Tour of Luzon. Definitely exciting times for all cyclists from all around the world, and of course, for our Filipino cyclists as well. So once again, that was the documentary film. And of course, thank you once again to Sir Manny V. Pangilinan for your continued support here in the Tour of Luzon. Now, before we continue, we would like to also acknowledge the presence of Joshua Pascual, Eagle of the Mountain 2025, who is here with us. Definitely an inspiring story for our young cyclists. And we definitely look forward to seeing more of him, especially in this next edition. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to give you a taste of what is in store for our cyclists once they get on the road in this year's Tour of Luzon, let us all watch this.
Let's ride out together. Welcome everyone to the Tour of Luzon 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Tour of Luzon is happening this April 2026. And I'm sure you guys are just as excited as I am. And just like what our organizers have been recalling every single time during that documentary film, it's going to be bigger, better, and more dramatic. So I hope you guys are all excited to hear more of the stories of our young cyclists, including Joshua Pascual over there. And you know what? It's going to be one heck of a very, very big event, an exciting event at that. I hope you guys are excited. Are you guys excited? Yes? I like the energy. Of course, we need to keep the ball rolling. And of course, this is only the beginning for our cyclists as they endure the drama, you know, the tension, the blood, sweat, and tears to get to the top of the Tour of Luzon 2026. Again, that's happening on this April. And of course, our documentary film will be airing tonight at 7 p.m. That is on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and Filipinas Live app. All right. I believe we are ready to get things going in just a bit. But before that, let's ask the crowd that we have over here, including our PSC Commissioner. Hello, sir. Nice to see you again. Of course, we need to hear a few words from you and just your thoughts, you know, on this very, very monumental, just a very quick question of your thoughts on, you know, the whole event and just seeing that it's going to be much bigger, almost 2,000 kilometers of racing for our cyclists, more like 20 teams, I believe. What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, it really is indeed monumental, no? And as our chairman MVP said, cycling is we've experienced it. In fact, I used to ride also, and Tour de France is the top, and it was indeed ang dream niya na we should get a Filipino to ride in the Tour de France, and I think that's excellent. And I think with him there and the rest that's running this, we should be able to send one there or one or two in the Tour de France. And good luck and thank you for this event.
Thank you so much, sir, for entertaining my very quick question. Thank you so much. Again, you know, this Tour of Luzon is really just the beginning for what is expected to be a bigger part for our cyclists in their lives. So definitely a lot to look forward to. So the roads are ready and waiting this year's Tour of Luzon 2026, which promises, like what I mentioned, to be bigger, stronger, and inspiring than ever. We are truly excited to welcome our athletes, partners, media friends, and cycling fans as we continue to the great revival of our nation's most historic cycling race. Now, to walk us through the technical side of the race, including stage routes, safety measures, team participation, and competition rules, please welcome the technical director and head commissar of the Tour of Luzon 2026, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. June Lumibao.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I go on, may I mention that our Philippine Olympic Committee President Abraham Tolentino and also the President of the Phil Cycling has sent his greetings and full absolute support to cycling and especially to the Tour de France, Tour of Luzon. Sorry. Si Boss Ari kasi. And also, before I continue, I want to acknowledge also the presence of some of the teams who will see action in this coming tour. We have from 7-Eleven, Rick Rodriguez and Mr. Bong Sual. Also from the Reina Cycling Team, Ryan, please stand up. And then we have a new team from the Philippine Air Force. They're over there. Okay, yung tumayo ho, si Warren Davadilla, a former champion. He was the 1998 Marlboro Centennial Tour champion, the last time that the Marlboro Tour was a UCI event covered heavily by ESPN. Warren. Okay, I hope I didn't miss out on anybody. Media, may mga colleagues ko sa sports writing, welcome. Okay, for an overview, the Tour of Luzon 2026, as they said kanina, it's 14 stages, 15 days. Kasi it's a tour. If you have a 10-day race, you have to have a 1-day break. So we have 14 days. We have on the 7th day, I made sure that everybody has a great break in Pagudpod. And we are staying in Pagudpod for at least 2 nights because meron din tayong team, individual time trials that town in Ilocos Norte. So from April 29 to May 13, ang Tour of Luzon 2026. And total distance of 1,900 kilometers plus. And we are covering at maybe 70% or 60% of Luzon. We have 5 regions to cover from southern Tagalog to central Luzon, Ilocos region, Cagayan Valley, and the Cordillera Autonomous Region. We should have started also in the Bicol region, kaso si Mayon medyo nag-aakap. And the DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon declared an all-out rehabilitation of the Maharlika Highway in Quezon and Bicol region. So with the 5 regions, we will be hitting 13 provinces all in all. And during our, what they call this, the ocular, the last 2 weeks, every LGU representative, mayors, or administrators were very happy and nag-glow sila with a smile that the Tour of Luzon will be finishing or starting in their LGUs. And speaking of LGUs, we have 13 provinces and we have 60 municipalities and cities na dadaanan natin. And as Boss MVP mentioned kanina, ginaranti na niya yung increased prize money. And Mr. President. And as of now, we have 20 participating teams, but some are still knocking on the door. So maybe we can go 22, 23 teams. But we don't have to exceed 150 riders on the road, which is the more ideal and UCI suggested na number of maximum number of riders. So we go to the so-called Grand Depart. The Grand Depart is done primarily as a Tour de France. It's a celebration. It's a very big event. It's very celebrated and it's much awaited globally since 100 years, more than 100 years. It will feature the ride and all the teams departing from stage 1 in a very grand fashion. Parang fiesta siya. Parang merong, what do you call this? Festivities, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then for stage 1, we will be starting from Casobe in Calatagan. It's a perfect place for the Grand Depart and to start or kick off this year's tour because it's a picturesque beach and the facility is perfect, especially for drone videos. And the moment we saw it last 2 weeks ago during the ocular, I said to Miss Dinah, dito na tayo mag-start and dito na tayo mag-Grand Depart. So we go up, on that day, we go up to Tagaytay for the, what they call this, for stage 1. There will be 2 climbs. And for the King of the Mountain na tinatawag nila sa Tagaytay, it will be the first time that the King of the Mountain point will be on a flyover. Yeah, it will be on the Mendez crossing flyover. I don't know if I've seen so many races na rin. I've watched on TV, etc. Pero this marks, I believe, the first time that a KOM point will be on top of a flyover overlooking Taal Volcano. And then to highlight the BCDA and CDC for Clark, Stage 2 for the team time trial, and for Stage 3, we will be staying in Clark for 3 days. 2 nights and 3 days. We do the team time trial. It's a very well protected area. And I believe also that the teams will be billeted at the Athletes Village. Full contingent, full board. So everybody's excited. Nasabihan ko na yung ibang teams. And kasi noong 2019, it was the village. Now they will have a chance to stay at an Athletes Village. Thank you very much to BCDA and CDC. Okay. Palayan City. That will be the destination for our Stage 3 from Clark. Why Palayan City? Because Central Luzon, Nueva Ecija is one of the hotbeds of cycling. Ang daming naging champion who were born and raised in Nueva Ecija. If you recall, Mr. MVP, the champion in the 2009 Padjak Pinoy is from Nueva Ecija. He was a farmer by profession, and on the sides, he nagka-tricycle siya. And I don't know if you still recall that. You gifted him a tricycle during that time. And a bicycle, of course. And in 2009, if many have forgotten, Stage 1 of the Padjak Pinoy was celebrated in honor of the birthday of Mr. MVP. We started from BGC and we finish in Apalit, passing through NLEX. That was during the late Bertlina's time. You were in shorts then in BGC when he flagged off the riders. Yes. You came from playing badminton, I remember. I don't forget. Okay, so Palayan City, meron tayong isang KOM. It's in Fort Magsaysay. It's sa Laur. So anyway, Ma'am Dinah said to step it up. So Stage 5, we will be, from Stage 4, we go to Bayumbong. It's no longer Santiago City. We are going to Bayumbong because of certain technical issues from Palayan to Santiago. And then for Stage 5, we go further up north from Bayumbong to Tuguegarao City. This marks the return to Tuguegarao, I think, for the last 10, 15 years that we're going back there. And then from Tuguegarao, we caravan to Gataran in Cagayan to shorten the race. And we go on the tip of Luzon to Pagudpud. While in Pagudpud, for Stage 7, it will be the Pagudpud individual time trial. So the guys, the cyclists, the teams, and even the race entourage, the officials, everybody else will enjoy Pagudpud, like I said kanina, at least for 2 nights. And then from Pagudpod, we go back to where we started in 2025. We finish at the iconic Poway Church. So again, we will have the iconic Poway Church as a backdrop. And then from Poway, for Stage 9, we move to Lawag. and finish in Candon City, because Candon City is one of the more LGUs which is very active in sports. Very, very active. And then in Candon City, we also stay there for three days kasi we will have the Candon City criterium, which is a qualification, which is a variety of the road race. Kasi meron silang, what they call it, diversion road, which is 15 kilometers long, the diversion road. So, ang takbo ng karera is they just go on a 12-time circuit. And then after Candon, we go to San Juan, just like last year. And then we travel to Agoof, where we will stay for the night and proceed to Daang Kalikasan in Mga Tarem. Yung Daang Kalikasan po is, I don't know if many of you know about, have learned about Daang Kalikasan. It's supposed to be a mountain road that should connect Pangasinan with Zambales. Kaso yung Zambales side hindi pa naumpisahan ata, hindi pa kompleto. So we will have a mountain top finish in Daang Kalikasan, but we will have to bring our generators, etc., because there are no provisions on top of the mountain. And then after that, we go down to Lingayen for the Lingayen individual time trial. The objective is the route is on the Baywalk sa Lingayen and Binmalay. The backdrop will be the West Philippine Sea. I made sure I called it West Philippine Sea. Although I just came from China last month. Ayun, it's 20 kilometers, but it's very difficult kasi of course, sa beach, mahangin. Yung ITT na yon, it's the preparation for the final stage, the Queen stage, the King stage, the Eagle of the Mountain, 177 kilometers again, for the Lingayen Camp John Hay finish, where we will crown the Eagle of the Mountain. Of course, Joshua is here. Joshua? Yes. I said kanina sa video, cycling is a sport of the humble. This guy here, this young man here, is one of the humblest cyclists I've ever known. So that's it for the background of your Tour of Luzon 2026. See you in April. So everybody who will join the race, please, bawal lang magpayong. Bawal lang takot umitim. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the dust, and enjoy everything else. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir June Manibao, for that detailed technical briefing. Ladies and gentlemen, this year the Tour of Luzon also places strong emphasis on athlete welfare and holistic performance. In partnership with our sponsors, we are proud to introduce a dedicated support system for our riders. To present the official high-performance team for Tour of Luzon 2026, may we now call on Ms. Pearl Managelod, Institute Director of Philippine Sport Institute.
Morning to everyone. First, a huge congratulations to the MPTC Tour of Luzon 2026 Organizing Committee for bringing back this iconic race for second year in a row na po. So, sana tuloy-tuloy po to ulit. Its comeback is a strong statement for Philippine cycling and for Philippine sports as a whole. So, the Philippine Sports Institute is honored to be part of this effort as an institutional partner. We sincerely thank, again, the organizers for bringing the PSI High Performance Unit and for recognizing the role of sports science and an athlete-centered support in elevating performance. So our role here is clear. The mission is clear: to strengthen the system behind the athletes through coach development, high-performance services, and holistic athlete care. We are here to support the event, the teams, the athletes, and even the staff, and to help raise the standard of preparation and competition. So the PSI High Performance Unit partnership with the MPTC Tour of Luzon focuses on 3 core areas: inspire, support, and elevate. First, we inspire through webinars and education sessions that equip athletes and coaches with practical knowledge on mental skills, nutrition, recovery, training load, and heat readiness. Second, we support through our PSI Activation Hub, providing on-ground high-performance services such as recovery support, performance monitoring, and athlete care throughout the race. Third, we elevate through research and innovation, transforming performance data into insights that will strengthen grassroots cycling and long-term athlete development. So this collaboration is not just a one-time event. It's not just for this race. It's about building stronger systems for the future. We are proud to stand alongside the MPTC Tour of Luzon 2026 as a partner in this important milestone. Thank you again to the organizers for the trust and opportunity to contribute meaningfully to this event. Our work here is also aligned with the vision of the Philippine Sports Commission, Chairman Patrick Gregorio, and his Grassroots to Gold framework, building a clear pathway from community-level participation to high-performance excellence. Initiatives like this demonstrate how that vision comes to life. Structured support, elevated standards, and real opportunities for Filipino athletes to perform at their best. When institutions collaborate, athletes thrive. When standards improve, performance follows. As Chairman Pato said kanina sa documentary, it's a sin not to continue the Tour of Luzon. That said, PSI remains committed to supporting this race and to working together with the organizers and with all the stakeholders to move Philippine sport forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pearl, and congratulations to our high-performance team who will help ensure the health, safety, and peak performance of our athletes throughout the tour. Now that we have all the details we need about this year's race, let us now call on the chairman of the Philippine Sports Commission, Mr. Patrick Gregorio, to give his closing remarks.
Thank you, Bea. To Chairman, Big Boss, MVP, sir, thank you very much for this commitment to Philippine sports. We are really so lucky. To MPTC CEO, Sir Gilbert Santa Maria, thank you very much, and welcome to the group. Mr. G, of course, to the CEO of NLEX, Luis, to the CFO, Marisa, to my good friend, Yusek Are, and Race Director, Jun Lumibaw. Walang Tour of Luzon kung walang marunong, kaya si Jun yan. And to the commissioners, of course, PSC, Commissioner Fritz, Commissioner Wawit, and to our friends from Vuelta and the Spanish Embassy, Sir Chris, how are you? PAGCOR, AVP June, ASEC Beth, COS Luje, PBCDA Pat, and of course to our media friends and to everyone. Alam niyo po, we see media at least twice a week now because we keep on launching sports tourism events. I just saw them a few days ago because we launched the World Karate Youth League and then this one. And that means if we see you twice a week or at least once a week, we're doing something right, no? I think we're doing something good for sports tourism. So thank you very much. Now for my closing ceremony, very simple lang po. We are really very grateful to MVP and to MPTC and to the entire group for doing this and helping Philippine sports. Talagang taus-pusong pasasalamat po yun. And of course, last year, from 0 to 100 million views, now I'm expecting baka 200 million ang SOCMED views natin with this kind of tour itinerary and preparations. We have more time now. So, I have always known, when we take care of our athletes, when we give them the opportunity to showcase their prowess, and then the entire nation is behind them, the 115 million Filipinos, that means it's really, just like what Chairman MVP said, it's really an opportunity to showcase the Philippines as a sports tourism destination. And I see people are very excited, media excited. Sports is good news to everyone. Diba? It makes people smile, it makes people cheer, it makes people proud. And it's a showcase of not only the sport but the country. That is the secret of what we are doing. So the Tour of Luzon is not just a comeback story. Hindi lang po ito yung it is nation building, no? It is nation building on two wheels. And that is really very, very important. Diba? And last year when we did the great revival, I said this distinctly, I distinctly remember, and I'm sure you will remember when I say this again. When we did this, we said, kung pinukaw namin ang inyong mga damdamin, pinukaw nyo rin ang aming mga hangarin. You know, yung 110 million Filipinos din, talagang natuwa, naggalak, very happy sa Tour of Luzon. And that means that is now our promise that we have to fulfill. And that is doing it in 2026. And again, wala namang makakagawa nito kung hindi si MVP ang nasa forefront. So palakpakan po natin si Chairman MVP. So, again, thank you because the President gave us an opportunity to organize the National Sports Tourism Interagency Committee, AO38. That means it's all the agencies under PAGCOR, DILG, DBM, DOT, CHESA, and Philippine Sports Commission working together to make sure that we really pursue and push the Philippines as a sports tourism destination. So to all athletes, train well. To all regions and provinces, prepare to shine. To all partners, sponsors, and organizers, make magic. My last line is, this is beautiful. Let's make the nation smile. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Chairman Gregorio, for that inspiring message as always. One of the most visible and hardworking men in the government. And for the continued support, of course, of the Philippine Sports Commission to the Tour of Luzon and to Philippine cycling. And of course, congratulations to you, Sir Patrick Gregorio, for being the Executive of the Year. Now, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we now open the floor to our friends from the media for our question and answer session. Our speakers and organizers will remain on stage to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to head to the middle where we have mics prepared. Please do state your name and the publication that you work for.
Good afternoon, Lito Oredo po from Abante. First question is to Chairman MVP. Yes, last time, sir, your announcement of putting up a 1 million pot changes the complexion of the race. Kasi biglang tumindi yung labanan nung biglang inangat yung premyo. This time po ba may additional yung premyo?
Actually, dapat umalis ako kanina eh. No, late na ako sa lunch. Hindi, okay lang. Well, the total cash prices, which Abed just texted to me yesterday, actually, and it's been adjusted every hour, on the hour, upwards, I must say. So it's over 12 million in total for team awards, compared to about 7 million last year, right? So it's more than 50% increase. It's meant really to attract more cyclists to the event, of course, to address the needs of the humbler portion of our population, and as well to incent foreign cyclists to this particular event. I think the more we face competition from foreigners, I think the better for the sport. No? Hindi lang tayo. Like in basketball, we have to open up participation to foreign competition. And you should make the Philippines the focal point of cycling competition in Asia if we can. No? And we should strive for that. Yun lang. So that's the range of prices. It's over 12 million this year, and we look forward to a very good competition and more, 200 million views at least this year. No?
Thank you, sir. To Chairman Pato. Chairman, hiningi na ng Department of Budget and Management yung program nyo for 2027. Yung Tour of Luzon ba kasama doon sa pinasa ninyo?
That we will still submit next week, so we have time. But rest assured, with the presence of our commissioners here today, Fritz and Komboawit and NSTIAC, that in 2026 we will already, Philippine Sports Commission and NSTIAC will support the 2026 Tour of Luzon.
Kay Sir Ari. Sir Ari, 6 stages tayo last year. May additional na 6 for a total of 14. Sa Great Revival and then sa Heritage in Motion. Is there a plan or any change for a history-making edition na masurpass natin yung record na classic na longest tour sa Pilipinas na 24 stages na napanalunan ni Maui Reynante noong 1977?
Tuwing nag-uusap kami ni MVP, he's always challenging me. Kailangan medyo, sabi nga niya nung we were presenting the first edition noong 2025, dapat isama natin yung mga nasa southern parts ng Luzon. But unfortunately, we didn't have time. This time, sa 2026, we lengthened, no? We almost doubled the stages from 8 to 14. Sasama sana namin yung sa Legazpi, sa Mount Mayon. But yun nga, pumuputok siya, and then DPWH also had this primary program to rebuild the Maharlika Highway. So siguro yan, isasama natin yan. Kung 14 ngayon, kasama yung mga yan, and it's gonna grow, subukan nating pantayan o kundi higitan yung 24 stages yan in the future. And the promise is it's gonna get bigger and better. No? Basta't hanggang nandyan si MVP na sumusuporta sa atin and Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, makakaasa tayo dyan.
Last na lang po. Kay Sir Jun. Sir Jun, babalik ba si Joe De Jong o paalisin na natin?
Babalik yung team pero hindi sila sure kung si Joe kasama.
Sino yung other than yung Air Force? Sino pa yung ibang nadagdag dun sa 17?
Right now, we have the list. May bibigyan namin mamaya sa press kit. Okay. Pero yung Air Force nandyan, we have a UAE Philippine team. UAE based pero mga Filipino competitive riders. And then from Korea, gusto ulit ng isang team ng Korea, Seoul Cycling Team. It's a very strong team also. And then we're waiting for Terengganu. They made sent feelers. Malaysia Pro Cycling, Malaysia Pro Cycling Team. Gustong-gusto nila maglaro dito. I met them last October sa Langkawi. We met each other in the Tour de Langkawi last year. And they want to come back.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. We have another question.
Yeah, Bong Pedro Alves of Malaya. Full disclosure, I have covered only one Tour of Luzon. That was in 1987. 1987, when Reynaldo de Quito won the Tour of Luzon overall championship without winning a single leg. That was how good he is. Very strategic. Anyway, Sir Ari, we would like to congratulate you for linking up with La Vuelta. And hopefully that will be a stepping stone for our future participation, as Mr. Manny Pangalina said, in the prestigious Grand Slams of like Giro, like, of course, La Vuelta, and of course, the mother of all road races, the Tour de France. Given that, in preparation for that, How one of the things that we expect also eventually is that this Tour of Luzon being officially sanctioned by the UCR, the Cyclist, etc., by its French acronym, International Cycling Federation. Kailan po kaya mangyayari po yun, Sir Aray? We know how strict the conditions are.
We wanted to be sanctioned by the UCI, but we were told that the max stages that we can have it, the Tour of Luzon, is about 4 stages lang, because of the schedule of the professional cyclists. So, but we wanted this to be big, a very big event locally as well, not just international. No, because we're promoting cycling in the Philippines to make sure that we reach our goal of eventually sending a cyclist to the penultimate tour cycling, which is Tour de France. Kaya we've decided for now that the editions that we're going to do will be not UCI sanctioned, but we're ensuring that the standards of UCI will be strictly followed, because we want to ensure that it's going to be safe, secure for all of the participants, including all the guests and all those who are going to watch.
Okay. Related to that question, of course, we know UCI is also strict when it comes to doping, and that's why they've clamped down very, very hard and very, very strict when it comes to doping. Will doping protocols also be addressed or be adopted for this particular competition, Sir Aray?
Yeah, magkakaroon tayo nun. I think that question is best addressed by our technical, our commissar, no? Si Mr. John Lumibaw. Baka masasagot niyo yan. It's a technical question.
Yes, please.
Before I answer, I covered my first Marlboro Tour in 1988.
Kaya ako isa lang. Okay.
And many more after that. It's always the rule to have anti-doping regulation. So in the article on anti-doping, we always say anti-doping will be announced. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions from our friends from the media? All right.
Hello, good afternoon. To the MPTC CEO, how big is the role, especially in securing the roads for our riders, sir?
The race will not proceed on our carriageway, pero ang MPTC will support the race, well, financially, pero kwan pa rin. Our teams are also going to be on the ground in the areas na adjacent sa amin. Yung mga patrol namin will support, tulad last year. Tsaka yung support company namin, Savis, will be involved in transportation and things like that. So, usual logistics and full support kami.
Thank you, sir. By the way, Judith Karingal, Sports Radio. And just one more. What is this collab between MPTC Tour of Luzon and the Grand Tour La Vuelta? Who can answer? Sir Aray, please.
Yeah, the dream really is to, make this sport bigger here in the Philippines and eventually send a cyclist to the Tour de France. And that is one of the steps, We're in the stage of entering into or discussing a potential partnership with La Vuelta, España, together with its partner or the one that promotes it, it's the Unipublic. And they will be observing this Tour of Luzon 2026. They might also give us a few advice on how to improve that eventually. But the goal is that the next editions will be somehow with technical supervision of La Vuelta. And we will also have our own race, which is the Desafio.
La Vuelta. So that's one of the biggest races in of La Vuelta. It's a brand. So eventually that's what we're trying to aim for. We will have a separate race out of aside from the Tour of Luzon, which is the Desafio. It's going to be also a multi-stage event.
Hi, I'm Joey Villar from the Philippine Star. I just have one question because Sir MVP mentioned that you've increased from 7 million to 12 million total cash prize. Can someone specifically say what's the increase in the individual prize? Because last year, Sir MVP said 1 million yung nanalo last year. So this year, magkano po ba yung sa individual champion at sa team champion specifically? Thank you.
Okay. The team champion will be 2 million pesos. Then the individual champion will be 1 million pesos. And every stage, there will be individual prizes. If you sum that up, that's more than 12 million pesos.
Thank you so much for your question. I believe we have one more.
Good afternoon. I'm Peter Atencio of Manila Standard. Here's my question. Sir, anyone can answer this. How challenging is the race kung in the uphill stages? Saan po yung mga uphill stages natin? Ganun po. Na medyo challenging.
Yes, for the King of the Mountain points, we have at least 12 KOMs. With the horse category in Baguio City at Scout Hill inside Camp Chanhay. And just, also, one of the highlights is the Mendez flyover in Tagaytay. The what do you call this? Dalton Pass. We're going through Dalton Pass. Although for riders naman, yung Dalton Pass is quite parang nunal lang sa kanila yun eh. And then in Pagudpod, head from Tuguegarao, may mga points din doon, mga KOM points. Where else? That's just about it. But mahihirap yung although yung altitude nila is ranging from 5,000 feet sa Baguio. The others are about 2,000 feet, 1,000 feet, depends. Pero yung ahon is yung makunat na tinatawag nila. Yung makunat yung ahon. But we have to watch out because maraming mahangin, especially sa Cagayan Valley side. It's not very common in the Philippines to see the echelon. In cycling, meron tinatawag na echelon formation ng mga riders when they go parang sideways in 2 or 3 groups kasi hinahanap nila yung butas sa hangin along the highway, and it will be a very, very interesting for drone shots, drone videos, the echelon. I expect so many echelons for this Tour of Luzon.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Gab Peras from Sports Corner PH. 2 questions lang. Balikan ko lang si Sir June. Based sa ocular inspection na isinasagawa ninyo before the Tour of Luzon, maayos po ba yung ating mga kalsada na gagamitin? Walang obstructions? Before the race, sinisiguro ba natin na handa na yung mga kalsadang gagamitin po natin?
Part of our mission during the ocular from Boss Are is to spot yung mga under construction, yung mga repairs that being done. May mga spots lang, patches, and then there are several stretches of highways na patapos na siya. By the time we pass, tuyo na yung semento. Or maybe this week na kasi we did the ocular 2 weeks ago. Or maybe this week or 2 weeks, baka tapos na yung, or next week, tapos tuyo na yung semento. And they're very manageable naman. Very manageable kasi that part of Luzon, konti na lang dumadaan na motorista na sasakyan. That's one of the best one of the best reasons to go there is because konti na lang ang mga sasakyan. So mas magandang magkarera doon and you have the highway all to yourself. That's it.
Okay, last question to our good chairman. Chairman Pato, last year sa Tour of Luzon, you're part of Duck World. Now, lumebel up ka na, chairman ka na ng PSC. And of course, the support of PSC is, of course, tuloy-tuloy naman yan as promoted by Sports Tourism Seminar. So, why is it important nga yung partnership ninyo with the PSC and the organizer of the Tour of Luzon, kasama ng Philippine Sports Institute ni Ma'am Pearl? Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Gab. Galing mo talaga magtanong. Oh. Opo, lumebel up na po ako. Alam naman po ng lahat yon. Lumipad na yung DAC. So ngayon, it is a SDMI and management ang nagsispearhead. Kasi hindi na po pwede yung DAC. Kasi nasa PSC na yung DAC. But I was whispering to Chairman MVP that yes, the Philippine Sports Commission will support the Tour of Luzon in 2026. And hindi lang ho sa pangako yan, pati sa financial. Opo.
Yung Philippine Sports Institute din.
Opo, yes, Gab. So maraming salamat sa pag-promote mo sa akin, Gab. Mabuhay ka.
Salamat po.
Thank you very much. We have another question over there.
Good afternoon. Danny Simon of Tonight Police Files and Gilas News. So, sabi ni Boss MVP, huwag natin papanalunin yung Korea. Kaya gusto ko marinig kay Eagle of the Mountain kung anong, sa ating Eagle of the Mountain kung anong preparasyon na gagawin niya.
Bale po, 14 states po yung Tour of Luzon. Dito naman po sa Pilipinas, ang mga Pilipino naman po narorota naman po yung mga stages and dun po tayo babawi po.
Preparado na. My next question is for Mr. John Lumibao. Ang Tour of Luzon ay labanan ng mga siklista. Pero paligsahan din ng mga sports writer. Nung araw kasi pagandahan ng istorya. Paano natin may babalik yun?
You mean a sports writing contest?
Pwedeng contest, pwedeng pagandahan ng istorya kaya sumikat ang Tour of Luzon.
Meron akong pinopost kay Sir Aray about essay writing contest and cellphone photo contest among students. Pupils, in the words of Senator Boss Aray, pupils. Kasi how do you get them involved, yung mga bata? And how do you get them to watch? And may mga gadget naman sila. So I suggested na let's do an all nationwide, Luzon-wide contest ng cellphone photo lang. It doesn't have to be yung action on the highway kasi hindi naman sila makakasabay. Yung nasa start, while the riders, or the cyclists are training, and during the finish, kahit na anong shots nila. And then, I think Boss Ari already started some negotiations with the DepEd on an essay writing contest. Essay lang, maybe 1 page, 10 paragraph, 12 paragraph, 15 paragraph essay writing contest among elementary and high school students. So the judges will be those in front of you. So it would be better kasi pag mga bata na yung mag-contest, wag na tayo.
Okay. Last question na. Sa organizer, sa MPTC at kay Boss MVP, ngayon pa lang po ay nagpapasalamat ng mga Bicolano. Dahil yung matagal ng problema ng pagkumpuni ng kalsada, dahil sa Tour of Luzon, baka makumpleto na. Thank you po.
Thank you very much. I believe we have time for one more question. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon po. Ivan Swing po ng Daily Tribune. Question po kay Chairman Pato. Last year po, you're one of the organizing heads po ng Tour of Luzon. Now po na part na kayo ng PSA. Siguro, how was that communication po with how seamless po yung communication po dun sa current head po ng Tour of Luzon for this bigger edition po?
Last year, MPTC sponsor na siya. And with the new CEO, Sir Gilbert, and nandiyan naman po, tuloy-tuloy naman yung suporta ni Sir Aray, and yung group nila Dinah, nila Pearl, nila Dean Kiko, kompleto pa rin naman po. The same cast of characters, different roles. But I think as long as nandiyan yung grupo nila Sir Jun Lumibaw, kompleto po yan. Nandiyan pa rin si Donna May, lahat, kompleto naman po kayo lahat. So ako, I'm really very confident that this will be a very successful Tour of Luzon.
And one more po from me. To Sir Ari and or kay Sir Jun, whoever can answer this po. May deadline po tayong sinet po for sa mga foreign teams po na sasali sa Tour of Luzon, and ilan po yung parang expected po natin na sasali for this year?
I said kanina 150 maximum number of riders. If we reach that, the door is closed na.
Specific
7 riders per team.
Okay po. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your questions, our friends from the media. Now, before we officially close our program, may we ask our organizers to come up here on stage for a quick photo op, or to please stand for a quick photo op. And may we also ask Ms. Pearl to join us here on stage. May we ask you guys to please stand? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends today's press launch for the Tour of Luzon 2026. Thank you to our organizers and our friends from the media for joining us today. Our lunch is now served. Now, the Tour of Luzon 2026 will be the race of the summer, and it will start on April 29. Once again, this has been your host, Bea Escudero. We will see you on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you all to have some lunch. Food is now being served right there behind. We have a buffet table spread for everyone to enjoy.